Coach Sherman, as we alluded to a little earlier, Central Methodist went 3-0 last week with victories at 21st ranked Evangel and home victories against Peru State and out of conference last night against Central Christian College of the Bible. Your general impressions on the week of play?
Well, obviously it was a good week for us. Players not only played hard, I think they stayed focused. I think they're learning some of the factors that we keep preaching a little bit of what's going to take for us to be successful. And the one thing that we put on the board has been pretty consistent for the last couple of weeks is that we have to just play harder and smarter. We can keep it real simple from that standpoint. And if we feel we play harder than the other team and we play a little smarter, then that's going to make a difference. So I think that's kind of what has kind of separated us, at least the past couple of weeks from early this season.
The Eagles started out conference play with a very difficult road game, possibly one of the two toughest places to play in the league, and with such a very good team against Evangel. What did it mean to you to see your team come back from an 8-point second half deficit to rally to pull off the victory in basically the final minute and a half?
Well, a couple of things. One, our schedules prepared us for this game, so we've already played teams that I feel are on the same level. Even going back to Hope International there in California, they're 11-1 right now. And we could have been one of the few teams that would have knocked them off if they not have made the last second shot. Of course, Columbia College being undefeated. So we've had some teams already that we played that we're used to on that level. The other thing is, unfortunately, we've been used to being behind at Evangel. So it's not like it was going to be any big surprise. Our goal was that if we kept playing hard and we kept defending it, we were going to keep ourselves in the game. And that's what it did. I don't know if we're a better team than Evangel, to be honest with you. But I thought that what we did that night, that particular night, is that we played very hard. And we didn't give up. We stayed with it. And we did find a way. They didn't score the last 3.5 minutes. To me, that's big. I don't know if I've ever had a team hold a ranked team from scoring the last 3.5 minutes. And we needed that to win the ball game. So that was big for us, and that's a big tribute to the players on how much they wanted this year.
Coming back home following the win at Evangel, you scored a 66-50 victory over Peru State to move to 2-0 in the league standings. Your general impressions from that game and the play of your team?
Well, I was probably happier, at least as happy with that win as I was at Evangel. You always want to pick up some big road games. There's no question about it. And of course, Evangel counts the same as any other game. So it's not like you get bonus points for beating a ranked team on the road. It counts the same as playing anybody at home. But a lot of times you have that big game and your team has that little letdown that next day, or they start thinking maybe we're a little too good or that type of thing. And that didn't happen. I felt that the players were a little bit more excited. I think maybe a little bit too excited at first, still riding that high, if you will, with the win at Evangel. But at the same time, I was just as impressed, if not more impressed, with the win against Peru State. That's a game we had to have. It's a home game. And I really think Peru's a nice team. And they're one of the more talented teams, the biggest team in the conference. And I thought we were winning that game going away. So I thought we were getting stronger as the game went along. And so that's a very good sign.
How important to you was it that your team out-rebounded the Bobcats, which you did in the game? Well,
that was one of our goals. Rebounding's been one of our downfalls with a few of the games that we've lost. And so we feel that, well, we're going to have to better ourselves. We're a small team. We already know that, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get out-rebounded. You need to work harder. And the goal was that we worked out rebound through. They just came off the game where they should have beaten Mid-American Nazarene before they came down. They were dominating Mid-Am for much of the game, plus they out-rebounded Mid-American. And so I felt that, well, if we could go ahead and counter that a little bit and show that we can do something that is one of Peru State's strong points, and I was just very pleased by our ability to hit the boards and at least come out on top of that category.
As Central Methodist head coach, you've obviously been through these wars for the past 28 years. How important do you think it is to be in first place after the first week of league play, or does it not really mean that much?
It doesn't mean that. You play 2 games. There's 18 on the schedule. I'd rather be 2-0 than 0-2 or 1-1. There's no question about it. But there are so many games left to go. There's going to be so many situations coming and going throughout the year for all the teams. I think it's important for us to approach each game 1 game at a time. We have to stay healthy, which very fortunately we've been able to do. We have to stay focused, and we have to stay hungry. And right now things are going our way, and we've got a big game coming up Saturday. There's no question about it. But again, that game is not going to count any more than the 4th game that we have on the schedule. But I'll be honest to say that it probably has a little bit more meaning to us from the standpoint that that's been the team that over the last couple of years has been dominating our league. And it would be nice if we could kind of not only send a message to them, but maybe the rest of the conference that there might be another team that they're going to have to try to deal with. And even though we came out on top of Evangel is still ahead of us in all the categories. You know, as being a Raider from our conference, I still have Evangel ahead of us. You know, they've played a much stronger conference, or a much stronger schedule. They've already beaten the top 10 teams in the country. We were better than they were that night. We're going to get a chance to prove that we can be the better team, you know, period, when we get a chance to play again at our place. But this first game at Mid-America is a way for us to finish out this semester with very high aspirations on what we feel that we can get out of the rest of the year.
Before breaking down the matchup at the Pioneers on Saturday, you made it a 3-0 week last night with a 105-54 victory over Central Christian College of the Bible. Your thoughts on that out-of-conference game and how your team was able to execute it?
Well, the best part of that game is that everyone got a chance to play. I like listening to Elliot's thoughts about watching all our players, you know, that maybe don't get recognized as much throughout the year because they don't see the playing time. This was a fun opportunity for them to get a chance to play. Many of them scored a bunch of points. They had a lot of good plays. But, you know, in all honesty, a game like that, from my standpoint, the advantage is getting other players to play. I really don't like playing, you know, opponents where the margin is that far apart. But it does serve a purpose at this stage. As you look at the next 3 games that we have, we have Mid-America on the road. We have Columbia College. It's going to be a top 5 team in the country this week. And then we've got Northwest Missouri State. In all honesty, we're not going to get all our players opportunities to play. So this was their opportunity to go out there and have a little bit of fun. And so from that standpoint, and it's early enough in the week that we still have plenty of time to rest and get prepared for